Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing all right. Joining me on this blustery April afternoon. Um, the weather's been pretty good the last couple of weeks, and now it's just dropped off a bit with some cloud cover. So, a good chance to go around and see what's happened in the garden. I drew a line under the last gardening year yesterday by going around and giving it all a mulch and a weed and a feed and this, that, and inspecting everything, seeing what's going on. So, we'll have a little whip round and kind of just see where we're heading to with things, and which things need to come out and which things are staying and doing well. So, yeah, I mean, first things first. A couple of videos ago, I was on about maybe changing the channel name because although it says Jurassic Garden Diary, it's not really a Jurassic garden, if you see what I mean. It's got a hint of Jurassicness to it, but because of like the climbing frames and having the climbers with the flowers and that, I can't be as true to the brief as I would want to be. So thinking of like what I could call it, or even better still, how I could sort of pigeonhole the garden, if you see what I mean. It's kind of, what are you, garden? What are you? Are you a jungle garden? Are you a exotic garden? Are you a tropical garden? Are you a, whatever, anything else like that? And that, because I've opened the gates to getting flowers now, get some more, but of course it kind of ties into it. I don't want to go too random with it if I can help it, but if I've got a tropical garden, that might be different flowers to what you'd put in a jungle garden. I don't really want to be kind of restricted in that sense. So, whilst trying to pigeonhole the thing, I came up with a great idea. I'm just going to go for modern Jurassic. That gets me out of everything, because I've got the Jurassic backbone to the garden. The idea is that the evergreen structure will be of a Jurassic theme. But the modern, with all the straight lines and the symmetry with the octagons all around the place and this, that, and the other, means that I've got a little bit of leeway when it comes to, putting flowers in, because I can put whatever I want in, really, because they're all modern. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, I'll probably change the channel name to something like Steve's sort of, in brackets, Jurassic Garden Diary. Just play it with a straight back, nice and easy. So I'll do that soon. And then going on from that theme, I was kind of thinking, how can I get it a bit more Jurassic besides just buying ferns, which I will obviously continue to do and keep it as Jurassic as I can. And I kind of hit upon the idea of, well, what animals were around during the Jurassic. Can't do a lot about dinosaurs. But the one thing that I can probably do something about that's not a shark or a crocodile that people might think of when you think of Jurassic is a dragonfly, or insects in general. Now, of course, dragonflies need water. I will be building a water feature this year, definitely. Not that I've been saying that for 2 years. So we'll see how that goes and go from there with that. But with regards to getting other insects in, just the more the merrier, basically. I'm not going to particularly target any form of insect or any form of animal or anything like that. So yeah, I just basically going to be watching some wild your garden videos and just been getting a list up, which I am calling my wildlife matrix, which is basically just going to be, I'll just watch those videos. Every time a plant name comes up recommended, I'll write it down, and then if it comes up in another one, I'll put a tally next to it, and then go on and go on and go on. And then hopefully in the end I should get to a stage where every video I've ever watched is recommended 5 flowers, the same flowers, lavender, verbena, and whatever else, the stuff that's good. And then there'll be stuff that's not so good. It just means when I'm walking around the garden centre, I've got certain spots, like where the canna is at the back there. It's not there at the moment, but it's going to come up, but it's a bit of a spot there. So when I get a sort of small tree fern for that area next to it, I can sort of think, all right, well, we've got part shade, and it'd be nice to get a kind of stalky flower in there, and then I can consult the matrix, and it'll fill it up as and when I go, just when I'm dipping in and out of garden centre. So that's the major bit of news, really. So let's start down this end, down Camellia Corner. I did have a go at this. So yeah, like I said, all been mulched. So yeah, it looks pretty good. The Tetrapanax up in the pot. I've just potted that up. You can see the 4 leaves that it put out when it was inside, and where I've been hardening it off, the new leaves come out. That one's taking it all right, but the others have darkened off a little bit. The other Tetrapanax is doing really well. The leaves are nice and taut on it, so happy with that. One thing I did do, I had a sago palm in a pot, in that pot actually we were just looking at. I've moved that right there, as you can see in the center. I think that'll do quite well. There's full sun, but I guess we'll find out. But it looks really nice there because it's a, you know, offsets the other type of foliage we've got, so happy with that. The Blechnum chilense fern that was in there, I just popped it just down in there for now. It's got a load of new croziers coming up. And that'll add something different because it's a bit hollyish as opposed to these ferns, which were a bit more feathery. Big news in here is there's a giant honeysuckle cut in dead center at the back, as you can see. And the idea is for that to climb up in that corner. I'll finish the pergola, and then when it hits the top, because with the other giant honeysuckle, what it did sorry, other than when I forced it, was it climbed at the pole and then it all wants to go out towards the climbing frame in that back corner, because that's where the hottest part of the sun comes. So therefore, if I put it up that bit there, it'll climb out the same way, which is towards us as we are now on the diagonal, and cover up all these pergola. So what I'll do in a couple of them already, where the passion flowers, I've got these wires running up this way. So all I'll do is the full length of the pergola, I'll just send them 4 or 5 wires going through that way, so it makes a bit of a crisscross. So it's got something to attach itself to because they're a twiner. In here as well, this Dixonia is doing really well. Really chucking them out, as you can see already, so that's good. The sort of smaller ones, that was a plant. I've got another one here which is a plant one. That one is going to be that one in about 3 years time, basically. That's the difference between them. And then there was a terrace fern where the giant honeysuckle was. I've just shoved in there for now, and we'll see how he does going forward. But yeah, other than that, just, you know, ericaceous, the camellias, they're doing all good. Probably see, made a little bee hotel. We'll see how it does. I think it's supposed to be south fencing. That is in the south sun, but the entrance isn't south facing. So yeah, we'll see and amend if we have to. I'm going to just make a load of stuff that I see and just see what happens. One of the big things I got was to just be a bit untidy and leave a lot of the dead stuff on if I can. So that is what I intend to do. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Moving into this one, so the bit of trimming or pruning I have done, as you'll see all over those stones, is the big straggly bits of this giant honeysuckle. It's quite self-regulating this year. It kind of sent off loads of, like, those, you know, those sort of seeker ones, and then because they were new and sparse and exposed, they got frozen off. And then with the high winds, all the leaves got blown off them. So it kind of told me exactly where to prune back to, which is what I've done to give it a bit of a, I wouldn't say a hard prune, but just get rid of the obvious stuff. Now what I'm going to do, this being 2 weeks later, as we can see, the thing has definitely survived, because every single node on the thing is just about ready to burst, including all the ones at the back and a lot of these ones down here. So my next phase of this is going to be trying to shape it a little bit. I want to take off some of these ones that have got the, you know, the dried off brown bits on them. So I'll do that and tart it up a little bit. And then, yeah, I want the laddery bit of the pergola dead ahead to kind of be the no man's land between the clematis and the honeysuckle. So anything to the left of that, of the giant honeysuckle, I'll trim back. And also I've got one down here where the branches are crossing, and can you see it's rubbing off the bark on them? So I don't mind the one going up the fence, because that's not particularly doing a lot. That actually went all the way up to the top. It's crossing my dragonfly art as well, so that's another reason. It does shoot off into this bit up here, but the majority of it was going up over the top of the fence, and that's what the majority of the stuff I chopped off was. So I don't mind losing that. So I think I'll do that, and, you know, just hopefully that branch that's coming off here, which is much more important, will survive. So yeah, just going to do that, a bit more of a picky prune now, and just try and thin it out a little bit in places. And then yeah, we'll see how we do. This Lophosauria looking really good. Super thirsty. Probably I reckon I'm watering it twice as much as the Dixonias. Now, of course, the Dixonias are in shade, so when I water them, it sort of stays on it, if you know what I mean, whereas this one's in full sun. So where we've had the sunny weather for the last 2 weeks, with no rain, it's obviously just meant it's a little bit thirsty, but I've got the irrigation to set up, so I'll make sure I put that one on top. And then just the Scheffler, which was here, didn't survive. That was the one that got munched by slugs. I've taken that out, and just because I felt like it really, I just bought an azalea to put there. And then right at the back there was a Lamatia ferruginea in there, which died off last year, and now I just put a Daphne odorata in there, so we'll see how that does. The Clematis armandii finished flowering, as you can see, but yeah, it's all coming right out over us, as you can see there. So that's a good thing that I didn't really appreciate about the climbers when I was buying them. I thought of it looking at them like the ones on the fence, they're kind of flat, but yeah, the 3D sort of effect they give is underrated. Last video I thought all this lot was dead. These are hare's foot ferns, or Arariostega pinnata. That's because the rhizomes will creep out over the top of the pot or whatever they're in and look like little rabbit's feet coming over. But you can see this thing's going crazy, so that's good. So that's just had a nice big mulch. So not too bad around here, really. Just apart from pruning the giant honeysuckle, really looking forward to that this year. Let's see what happens. Come across to the middle bed. The Dropter's Atrata, still looking good. Still probably, I would say, the best fern, or the best all-rounder you can get, probably. No hassle at all. No need to prune it. And it just sort of looks the same every day of the year. The Norfolk Island pine, what I'm going to do is put that Willemi in the ground at the back, and then marrying up with that is this one here, and I'll put that into the pot that the Willemi's in, and then sink it in the ground, so I can bring it in. I mean, I don't even need to bring that in over winter. I just brought it under the pergola so the frost couldn't get it, so that's good. So that means I'll be able to get it hopefully a lot bigger than I would do if I had to bring it in. Blechnum chilense looking good. It's run off as well, so you can see all that down there coming up, so that's good. So I'm getting a nice steady supply off of these Blechnums, so good fern, evergreen, hardy. You don't see it around, basically. You'd have to hunt it out, but yeah, definitely worth getting. I think these two dropped its Wallichiana. There's one on the corner there, and there's one to marry it up over there, symmetry, putting the modern in modern Jurassic, if you like. I put them out the first year late, and then we had that real cold winter a couple of years ago, and I think that did the original crowns in. And then the fronds you can see on them now is like what came off sort of a new crown. So this is the year now. If they don't look good, coming in the next few months, then I'm probably going to have to take them out, because it's in too much of a valuable spot. Those two, because they're supposed to be meter long, going over the edge and softening it all up. Also, in general, I know I've got that Scheffler in the center, which is going well, and which is going to sort of cover the climbing frame, but I wouldn't mind something else there. I've got the Dixonia Antarctica in the to the left of the Fatsia. Then I've got one right in the corner, 1 footers. I could put one where the canna is, and then one where this bigger conifer is, and just to marry it all up and give it a bit more symmetry. But I'm in no rush for that. They're expensive, and to be fair, when we go and have a look at the state of one of those Dixonias, it might not be worth the money. So yeah, coming up to the back, Lophosauria looking good. This one's starting to go some now. It's taken a couple of years to settle in, but you can just see the colours on it. And obviously, well, not obviously, but if you don't know, when they mature, they go silver underneath. So another one coming up there. So that's pretty good. That started early. As I just said, the Willemi will be going in this year. Atrata looking good. Scheffler looking good. Again, Clematis armandii, same as the other one. Canna, just given that, just mulched it really roughly. You can see it's all coming up there, so that'll come up, and then I'll decide what to put there this year. Another Blechnum chilense, probably my favourite climber foliage wise is the Pilostagia verbenoides there in the centre, climbing hydrangea. It's kind of the opposite to the clematis. Clematis is quite sparse going up. It's just sent 2 shoots up and then it's really top heavy, whereas that one is kind of filling everything out from the bottom kind of thing. It's kind of almost, the Pilostagia is taking the approach of taking its time to put every leaf in a specific place so it looks good, whereas the clematis is much more down the route of give a million monkeys a million typewriters and they'll come up with Shakespeare sort of thing, if that makes sense. So yeah, but it all adds to the flavour. This Scheffler is doing good, so happy with that. Round here, the Cyathea we were thinking about might be dead. They're all Cyathea cooperize, come out with a new one. So in the thing of wildlife, I'm going to leave these old fronds on it. They're not doing anything. Same with, like, normally a lot of ferns you would just lop the top off, but I'm only going to take ones off that are crossing over the crowns. This is the Herrenhausen setiferum. You can see that's all ready to go, and that one's really good when it comes out. It kind of fires them out all at random directions, almost like sort of lightning. Fatsy is doing well. Got the if you can see them, the ants and the aphids are on it already. This one may or may not be a casualty of the winter. This is a Dicksonia antarctica that I put in late last year. Well, not late last year, autumn last year. I forgot to water it and it's been under the Fatsias, so I don't know how much water it's got. I've put it on a strict regimented watering now, but there's still no signs of life. Well, there are signs of life, but unfortunately I think they're slug eggs. So we'll see what happens with that. But the maidenhair is recovering well. That got stepped on. You can see the big foot mark where it did all that, but you can see it's bouncing back. This stuff again with the wildlife theme. I don't know what this is, whether I need to take it out or not. It's a weed, or in inverted commas a weed, but I don't know what it is and if it's going to do any harm to anything. So if anybody knows what this is and whether it's worth taking out or not, I don't want to 2 months down the line suddenly be covered in it, but if it doesn't really do any harm, then it's not going to do any harm. Moving on around here, the other Cyathea cooperi, sending one out. This is probably the furthest one ahead of all of them. Good news, actually, the hydrangea samania that was down here that I was getting a bit worried about, as you can see on the ends, we've got some good growth coming out of it now, so that one looks like it's ready to kick on a bit. So happy days with that. Another Fatsia doing well, getting mullered by slugs by the look of it, or snails, but yeah, lots and lots of growth on that one, so happy with that. And then over here, this Dicksonia antarctica has just sent up a new crozier at the back there. You can just see it unfurling, so he looks like he's come through all right. This Cyathea, I made a bit of a mess. I can't remember what I was leaning. I was leaning and getting a football, and this old frond that snapped, I snapped it the other way and it landed straight on top of the grow point of the Scheffler that I put in last year behind there. So yeah, good fun and games. It looks like the first crozier that's come out, which is that one, has probably got frosted. So it's like coming out on its side and not really doing a lot, but we have got one ready to follow right behind it, so happy days. This hydrangea samania is really ready to go somehow everywhere. I think it's because although it's in shade for a lot of it, the top of it's just hit the light now at the hottest part of the day. So yeah, it's just in the last week really, it's just probably quadrupled in size, so like as in the grow point. Down here, this thing's finally taken off. This is the Korean rock fern, Polysticum sucamense. You can get them fairly easily, quite sort of sharp and pronounced fronds, but looks really good actually, especially next to the rocks, funny enough. But yeah, I'm going to be moving those rocks next thing, so yeah, good time. Finally got a sword fern to start growing now, so that's good. Oh, third attempt. And then I've got a Fatsia spider's web that I just put in there, which has got a grow point on it, another maidenhair which is underneath that leaf at the bottom, and then there's that Scheffler there. You can see the grow point on the right is okay, and then the one on the left, which got the Cyathea frond to the top of it, has got a bit brown on it. And then just the old odd bits here, Tracheospermum jasminoides, 2 Jurassic goals and a ticky head, which I'll leave in there, and a couple of little bits down there. Moving on to the corner of doom, it's a little bit packed there, but you can see I've been just building up the boxing for those pipes and all that. If you want to, we'll do that on a separate video when I've finished it. But essentially, this is my command center. Sneak peek for the next video. So there you go. That's how it's all set up for most of it. And then what the idea is, what I'm just trying to work out is that old coffee table we've got there, the wooden one. I want to take the top off it and use it as like a fold out bar, which hides the pipes when it's not in use, if you see what I mean. Oh, hides all the taps when it's not in use and that. And then I'll make it look nice and barry there. And then the rest of this wood down by my feet is to finish the shed out the front, so I can put the roof on it. You know, it's all to do the, what do you call it, the bits that go across it like that. And then lastly, just in these two pots, we've got the two passion flowers. I did mention last time I was a bit worried I didn't chop it down, so it's going to grow from the top and keep it looking like this down in, i.e. not very bushy, but it is growing out again everywhere, so happy with that. Both of them are doing that. And yeah, good stuff really. So yeah, moving forward, just going to do me wildflower research and whatnot, and just try and think of what habitats I can make, because I've got, it's a really good garden for bugs, and they're obviously the pyramid of the, you know, the food triangle, food chain, sorry. So, you know, it's just working out how I'm going to do it. You know, because it'd be nice to, the final thing to be kind of sat down over there next to a big waterfall and have dragonflies floating around. So we'll see how we do. But yeah, there we go. I'll leave it there for now. So hope you've had a good one and enjoyed the weekend. Ready for 2 weeks of rain, which is perfect time because I've just fed it all with fish blood and bone and chicken manure pellets and given it a mulch. So that is perfect timing, almost like I planned it that way. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Next one, got lots of videos coming up. This all this boxing in the corner of doom, I've just boxed in out the front, the shed, and yeah, whatever else we do. Right, anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.